Hi, today is September 2nd, 2018. I would like to talk about contemporary history of Iran in the era that how Pahlavi Dynasty established and how it came to an end. In 1925, Iran was struggling with Qajar dynasty, and people wanted to move away from that system and to move to a new system. It was recommended by Reza Pahlavi to have a republic system. However, the cleric of that time, they decided to have a monarchy system because the monarchy system was representing God's will. So, Reza Pahlavi became head of state of Iran in December 1925. Sometimes in August 25th to September 17, 1941, the Allied forces attacked at Iran on the pretext that Iran was collaborating with Nazi Germany. In fact, Iran was not collaborating with Nazi Germany. Iran hired German engineers to build its infrastructure, such as railroad, building factories like iron in Isfahan. Even the British destroyed one ship was traveling from Germany to Iran and was carrying how to make iron factory. So they sunk the ship. So the British attacked southwest of Iran, that's oil-rich part of Iran, and the Russians attacked at northwest of Iran, that is oil-rich of Iran. Obviously, they began to exploit Iran as much as they could. They killed Iranians. These are historical facts. These are not allegations. Like, there are lots of books. You could buy it. There's a book called Letter from Tabriz. You could read that one, that how Russians were killing. My grandmother herself had seen what the Russians did to Iranian in Tabriz. So, and she was telling us about atrocity that the Russians committed against Iranians in Tabriz. So, it was in 1941, Reza Shah Pahlavi descended from the peacock throne in favor of his son Muhammad Reza Shah Pahlavi ascended to the peacock throne. When the war ended, World War II ended, the Russians didn't want to leave Iran because they were taking oil from Iran. Why should they leave? It's oil called black diamond. Why should they leave? So he used diplomacy to push them out of Iran. And Americans do not have border with Russia, and they're afraid of Russia. Every day they are. We have news in Canada that how Russians are evil, they're coming, they're gonna invade us, and all this kind of thing. And I think to myself, what if they had a border with Russia? They would be having anxiety and paranoia every second. So who? So, and 1953 comes. His Excellency, Dr. Mohammad Mossadegh, decides to nationalize Iran's oil, because before that, British people had 100% right over Iran's oil. So he doesn't use diplomacy. He tries to be spearheaded about it, and he steps over some of the boundaries. England was able to impose economic sanction against Iran. and Iranian people were not paid. The public servants didn't receive their money. Iran was at the verge of bankruptcy. The Tudeh party is a communist party which had close relationship with Russia. They were staging a coup in Iran. Then there was this part comes into it. It was the throne of Mohammad Reza Shah Pahlavi at stake. So Iran's army staged a coup, but the coup failed and people stormed the street and overthrew Dr. Muhammad Mossadegh. After that, Mohammad Reza Shah Pahlavi did not act as a constitutional monarch. He acted as an absolute ruler in Iran. He began to move Iran toward modernity, progress. That is what he envisioned for Iran, same as his father. He began to envision for Iran. Iran rapidly was moving. Iran was building its military against Russia. But there was no fear like I see it in Canada. It is the enemy, we know that, and we have to become a strong nation. There was no animosity, and they signed a CENTO. CENTO is a military treaty between Iran, Afghanistan, Pakistan, and Turkey. The US, there is always this conversation that the US was asking Mohammad Reza Shah Pahlavi to go into a war with the regional nations, and he didn't want to do it. Mohammad Reza Shah Pahlavi was not a warmonger, a man of diplomacy. And what happened, Iran was becoming second Japan. That's what Jimmy Carter said. I didn't want Iran become a second Japan, so I'm going to overthrow it. These are the things that he has said it. If you look at some of the tapes, we find that he's saying it. Iran is becoming a second Japan, and I don't want to see that is happening. And Khomeini comes forward. No one was interested in revolution in Iran. The cleric that today they're running the show, they burn cinema, theater in city of Abadan. Cinema Rex Abadan. That's what is known. And Khomeini promised to Iranians that he would create a free ride society. Iranians at that time were in a difficult position. Machiavelli has a very good things to say. People change their master very easily if someone make a better promise for that one. And I see that in Canada. When one political party wants to win, gets people's vote, begins to offer all kinds of things. I give you all kinds of sweet and candies, and people go and vote to that party. Regardless it is feasible or not, people go and vote for that party so they would have some kind of a free stuff. Free stuff could be university tuition fee, could be anything. Taxes, all that. You see, we're going to cut back on the taxes and this kind of thing. So that is how, and I remember Jimmy Carter always was saying, I'm supporting Mohammad Reza Shah Pahlavi. People were getting angry. Mohammad Reza Shah Pahlavi was doing some kind of a reform. Jimmy Carter was saying, I support the king's action, and people were getting angry. When Bakhtiyar took over the former Regency government, and Jimmy Carter says, I support Bakhtiyar. Jimmy Carter is the most evil person I know. If you want to know, other name for Satan is Jimmy Carter. That's how I see him, and I will never ever change my view, and I will never ever forgive him for what he has done to my family and all other people in the Middle East. I believe there is a special place for Jimmy Carter in hell. That's how I see it. And all these Nobel Peace Prize, these are propaganda. United Nations, all these things are propaganda. So, the king left Iran. That's what the newspaper said. King left Iran. And Khomeini, from a government, Time magazine wrote it that he is the saint, he is a wonderful person. Khomeini began to kill people, so he would hold on power to eradicate any form of opposition. Back in 2004, 2005, Export Development Canada wrote it, income inequality in Iran, that 10% of population is having access to 75% of Iran's wealth. That means 90% is living in destitute. There is no middle class in Iran. And that 10% is Iranian Revolutionary Guards, clerics, you just name it. Will situation change in Iran? No. Because the Western powers are enjoying the money which is being sent out of Iran to the rest of the world into the Swiss bank account. They are building apartment buildings in Canada and all over the places. Why should they care? So, here I am in Canada, and I have to focus about my own life.